Alrighty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. And as promised earlier this week, I figure we do a little trivia tonight. As you can see in the screen cap, I do have the Trivial Pursuit one here, and I still have the Bill Elliott car right over here as well. So first off, let me go ahead and we went down to 0 there for a second. For everybody who's interested, let me know which one you want us to start off with, if it's going to be the Trivial Pursuit or the Elliott one. Whoever wants to pick here, go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section, and then we'll get started. We'll probably get around to both of these during this. We'll see if we can go for at least an hour or so here. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll get started here in just a moment. First of all, again, want to make sure you guys are all doing well and everything over there. Things are going okay over here. Looking at how things are going in general. It's exciting to see a lot of the stories so far about the possibility of racing coming back next month. Of course, not forgetting the social distancing rules and everything, and trying to do it as responsibly as one can under these circumstances. But I think that it's helpful that, at least in that context, there's at least something going on there. I'd be curious to see if we're going to get something like that in IndyCar and Formula One, but we'll find out here. Let's see. So we got a couple of ones for the Elliott one. We got one for Trivial Pursuit. There we go. We got your Ross Chastain hat. This is probably the first NASCAR shirt I've worn since this whole thing started. I was actually going to wear my Ricky Rudd shirt the day for the Atlanta race before this thing whole got started. And I've decided to set that one aside for when racing comes back. But yeah, I got the Mellow Yellow 42 on here. So this is always one of my favorites on that. So that's always cool there. But yeah, you got the DC Solar shirt signed by Ross Chastain. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. So everybody's got it's hopefully we get to a time there where we're going to see Chastain and everybody else back in competition. So I see 2 votes for the Elliott one and 1 for the Trivial Pursuit. So we'll start with the Elliott one, and then we'll get to the Trivial Pursuit one too. So we'll get to both of these. So we'll go ahead and get started. First one here. I'll move the camera in a different spot, so maybe it'll show up better on the car here. Make sure the battery's still working. I don't know what batteries this takes. Probably takes like one of those little button batteries there. Alrighty. Next question. All right, here we go. What year did Fireball Roberts win the most popular driver? Oh, it actually is misspelled popular award. What year did Fireball Roberts win the most popular driver award? Don't look at Racing Reference. Don't Google it. Try to just go ahead and jump in and whatever your guess is. What year did Fireball Roberts win the most popular driver award? Go ahead and leave it in the comments there. What year was it? That's a tricky one. I don't know that one off the top of my head. I'll be honest. I'm not sure. 64, no year. 62. What year did Fireball Roberts win most popular driver? Most popular driver award goes. It's amazing how far back that goes, that award. That it's not just a recent creation or something from the sport being more popular. Let's see. I see some that say that he didn't. It's possible. We've had trick questions on the Elliott and the Rudd cars before. I see other guesses for other years in the 60s, 62, 64, 65. The answer is 1957. 1957. Most popular driver. Wow, very early in his career. So even before the first Daytona 500, he won most popular driver. So cool deal for him on that. All right, next question. What is the length of the Phoenix International Raceway? What is the length of the Phoenix International Raceway? I believe that's what I caught the second half of the question. Let's make sure it's repeated here. What is the length of the Phoenix International Raceway? I was hoping it would have something more specific, like how long pit road is or something, but no, it's just asking what is the length of Phoenix International Raceway. Now, again, we're looking at a car from the late 90s. We're not talking about the reconfiguration or anything. But what is the length of Phoenix International Raceway? We have a couple guesses here. And Cooper, I see your comment there. Yeah, it could be, the length of the race. Is it the length of the track? I mean, unfortunately, I guess the computer chip on this doesn't allow for real long phrasing the question, but I would assume it's the length of the track. So yeah, I think most of you guys got it already with the 1 mile. And the answer is 1.0 miles. So exactly 1 mile. All righty. Next question. What 2 years did Bill Elliott finish 8th in points? What 2 years? Don't look at Racing Reference. What 2 years did Bill Elliott finish 8th in the point standings? What 2 years did Bill Elliott finish 8th in the point standings? And of course, we're looking at the 99 scheme, so it would be sometime earlier there. We're obviously not talking about later in his career running the Walmart car. What was that, 2012 or 20? I think it was before the Gen 6 car came around. All right, 94 and 95 is first guess, 87 and 88, 83 and 94. Okay, any other guesses on here? When he finished, Bill Elliott finished 8th in points. What 2 years did that occur? All righty. And we got some more guesses here. Okay, I don't think any 2 of these are the same. So let's go ahead and hit the button here. The answer is 1995 and 1997. Okay. Oh, Eagle Man, you were really close. 95 and 97. Oh, I don't think anybody got it. That's a tricky one. Yeah, 95 and 97, it says. So that's interesting. So you guys are right on top of it there, around the same year. All righty. Okay. Next question. What does loose mean? Okay, this is going to be open to interpretation. I mean, pretty much you get anything close to this, it's going to be the right answer. But see if you can guess the exact wording that this thing is going to pick for the definition of loose. What does loose mean is the entire question on that. What does loose mean? Pretty much everybody here is going to know what that is, but see if you can get it exactly word for how it's phrasing on here. Yeah, slideways. I like that. Something simple. It'd be great to just it's a single word that captures the entire concept pretty accurately. Car's rear end kicked out, drifting. Yep. I mean, you guys know it. I get that. Let's see if you can get exactly what it says on the screen. And I think we've had this one before. I think it was on the Ricky Rudd one. So it's tricky, but for max points, if there's points in this, yeah, rear tires don't stick. Jimmy Johnson's car setups. I like it. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and move past this one. The answer is loss of traction on the rear tires. Loss of traction on the rear tires. So yeah, I mean, you guys got it. Jason, you're pretty much right on top of the back end of the cars in a slide. So there we go. Okay, see if we can get some harder ones here. And we'll switch it up to the Trivial Pursuit one here in a little bit too. All right. Who was the first driver to win the Daytona 500, World 600, and Southern 500 in the same season? Who was the first driver to win the Daytona 500, the World 600, and the Southern 500 in the same year? First one. Now that's, again, I know you're looking at this guy right here and you think, oh, well, maybe that is, no, not quite. First driver to win the Daytona 500, World 600, and the Southern 500 in the same year. 3 of the Crown Jewel races. All right, Elliott, Pearson, Earnhardt, Allison. All good guesses. Leroy Yarbrough. There we go. All righty, any more guesses on that? Okay, looks like it's slowed down a little bit. We'll go ahead and get to the answer. The answer is Leroy Yarbrough. There you go. Goldsmith, 1210. You guys got it. In 1969 being the year. Tricky question. You think I'm a Bill? I mean, talk about a tricky one. This thing's really trying to keep us on our toes here. You see a Bill Elliott one. Of course, he did not win the World 600 when he won the Winston Million. He won Talladega instead. So he did win 3 Crown Jewel races, but not those 3. And he was not the first to get those 3. So there you go. Leroy Yarbrough. Absolutely. I saw a comment in here asking about, Alexander asking about trying to get Jerry Nadeau in the Pro Invitational Series. I have not heard anything new on that yet. We'll see what happens this weekend at Talladega. I think, it would be interesting, certainly. Fingers crossed there. But I have not heard anything more from him personally, or from those involved with the Pro Invitational Series. So I guess we're going to just find out. I assume they're going to do a Saturday Night Thunder event there for Talladega, like the other one. I haven't watched those the last few weeks here, but certainly if he's a part of that, that's definitely one I'm going to see if I can make time to watch for sure. Alrighty. So, but yeah, and if he does run, it would be great if he ran the 25 car. Although I know from the interview I did with him, his favorite was the 2000 Coca-Cola 600 car and the Coast Guard version of that car. So he seemed to really like that one. We'll see if that happens. You never know. You got a lot of time even until May at the earliest with these races without fans in the stands. And even if that's the case, they'll probably even still be doing them then. You never know. So we'll see what happens. Alrighty. Fast facts. Let's get to the next one. Alrighty. True or false? Bill Elliott drove a Chevy, in 1984. True or false? Bill Elliott drove a Chevrolet in 1984. Is that true or false? Don't look at the website there. True or false? Did Bill Elliott drive a Chevy? True or false? Bill Elliott drove a Chevy in 1984. We got true, we got false. All right, we got a good split going so far. Okay. I forgot they made diecast of Ross Chastain's Nutrient car. That's good to know. That's awesome. All righty. Finally managed to make it. Welcome aboard, Andrew. All right, the answer is false. The answer is false. He did not drive a Chevy in 1984. He did drive it, and I guess when I was thinking about earlier in that Walmart car in 2012, he drove a Chevy. And I think, well, actually, he drove a Chevy just last year. It's was it Road America when he was Bill Elliott was running the Xfinity race. So he's done it more recently, but not back then at least. All right, how many convertible races did Curtis Turner win? How many convertible series races did Curtis Turner win? Was it in 2017 when he ran the Road America? Okay, I somehow I thought it was last year, but I guess it was further back. All right, how many convertible races did Curtis Turner win? All right, so you got a lot of good guesses here. 10, 21, 26, 7, 23, 18. We are all over the place. Let's get the answer here. And the answer is he won 38 of 85 convertible races, 1956 through 1959. So 38, there we go. Fueled by Doritos. You got it, man. All right. That's a lot. I mean, my goodness. I didn't think you would have quite that many. All righty. Welcome aboard, everyone. To those just coming in, I see we're up to 20 people here in the chat. Thank you so much for jumping in here. I'm going to try to give you guys a bit more of a heads up when we do these trivia nights. I like to kind of, in the past, I kind of just do it kind of spontaneously, but I want to give people more of a heads up here this week, especially since I got the video coming up this Friday. So we'll see how that goes. And about this time, yeah, today's Wednesday, so 2 days from now, so this Friday, we'll have the debut of my next video on the channel, which is on the history of retirement seasons, and we'll also touch on this guy right here, Bill Elliott. So we'll see how that goes. So looking forward to sharing that with you guys. And that'll be a YouTube premiere as well. I know I've done that in the past with some of these other ones. If you guys don't like the YouTube premieres, make sure you tell me, because it makes no difference really on my end. I'm just doing it because I like doing the chat thing on this side. But if it becomes too difficult to watch, like if they're just cramming a ton of ads in it or something, I'd rather not do that. Maybe we'll just do soft openings for future videos. Just let me know for sure. So we'll get that to see for sure. But we'll do a premiere because it's already scheduled for this week. For those of you in the Patreon who haven't seen it yet, I'm gonna set it up for the premiere. I believe it'll be late tomorrow night. So if you want to see it before the premiere, you still got about a day to watch before that gets set up. All right. So anyway, let's get back into the trivia here. All right. True or false? Okay. Bill Elliott Oh, wait, is it doing this the same again? Drove a Ford in 1985. Oh, come on. Okay. True or false? Bill Elliott drove a Ford in 1985. True or false? I thought it was giving me the same question from 84 again. But this time it's asking me if Bill Elliott had driven a Ford in 1985. And of course, that is true. Yes. Okay. Yep. You guys got it. All righty. Okay. Oh, hit the wrong button here. Let's get to the other one here. Okay, we got that already. All right. Next question. Here we go. Who was the driver that broke his neck in a racing mishap, then came back 8 months later to win in his first start since the accident? Okay, wow. Now here we go. You got a real specific one. Who was a driver that broke his neck in an accident and then came back and won in his first race back 8 months later? So, which driver did that? Had a neck injury and won in his first start back. Who is that driver? We got Ernie Irvan, Steve Park, Harry Gantz. Irvan, okay, broke his neck and came back 8 months later and won in his first start back. Ricky Rudd. We got other options here. I'm gonna repeat it again because I think it was a long question. Make sure you got all the details right. Who was the driver that broke his neck in a racing mishap, then came back 8 months later to win in his first start since the accident? There we go. Right. Oh, you got a custom of one of Chastain's old cars, Steven? That's awesome, man. There we go. Well, let me sure get the answer to this one because I'm not sure what this one is either. Okay, and the answer is Bob Flock in 1952. Bob Flock. So, yeah, you guys are looking at a lot of recent examples. These are all good guesses. Obviously, Irvin and Park coming back from injuries. But breaking your neck, coming back 8 months later, and winning in your first start back goes to Bob Flock back in 1952. So, hey, how about that? All right, well, here, with that, I'm going to switch it up to the Trivial Pursuit one, and we'll do this. All right, hang on, get some drink here. Shaking things up here a little bit. I got some chocolate milk here, but I'm sure it's still going to get in my mustache. All right. Okay. So, all righty. So we're going to go to the Trivial Pursuit one here for a little bit, and let's see. We're going to go ahead and go with the categories again, and again, we'll have you guys chime in the comments on which one we're going to do first. And so we'll start off here. The first category is, think of it like Jeopardy, of course. First category is NASCAR. Second category is pits. Third is teams. Fourth is tracks. Fifth is drivers. And sixth is the wild card. So, hey, make sure you chime in as to which category you want us to start off with. I'll read them off again. NASCAR, pits, teams, tracks, drivers, and the wild card. Whichever one gets the most picks, that's the one we're going to go ahead and start with here. All righty. Okay, I see. Okay. Teams. I'm going to have to do a tally sheet here a little bit. We're getting a lot of votes, but that's good. That's good. All right. Actually, I think we will do a tally sheet. Okay. So let's see. Teams, wild card, pits, tracks, wild card, drivers, teams, pits. Ooh, it's gonna be close. Tracks, teams, drivers, pits, and wild card. Oh, All righty. I got 3 votes each for teams, wild card, and pits. Yeah, we got another one for drivers. Okay, well that makes that one another three-way tie. Let's do pits because I don't think we've done it yet on this one. So let's do that. That one seemed to get a lot of votes. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into that. All righty. So here we go. What driver's crew won the 1994 76 Pit Crew competition? What driver's crew won the 1994 76 Pit Crew competition? Which drivers? Which driver's crew won the pit crew competition in 1994? Alrighty. We got guesses for Earnhardt and Martin and Marlin and Gordon. Alrighty. We're going to get the answer here in just a moment. Rusty and Elliott. Okay. And the answer is Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon. Even back in 1994, the first year that he won a race, the Ray Evernham crew won the pit crew championship. So there you go. Whoop, get the reflection off there. There we go. All right. Next one. What tool do teams insert to measure the holes across a tire's surface? What is the name of the tool that teams insert to measure the holes across a tire's surface? There we go. We got some challenging ones here. This is good. This is good. We barely tapped this category. So yeah, let's use it. What tool do teams insert to measure the holes across a tire's surface? The name of the tool. Yeah, see, there we go. The tool you didn't even know existed. Exactly. There you go. The tool the teams insert to measure the holes across a tire's surface. The tread depth gauge, that's a good one. Scraper, banana, tire poker. Hey, your guess is as good as mine. I honestly don't know. Okay. The answer is the depth gauge. The depth gauge. There you go. Andrew, you got it. Tread depth gauge. There you go. It must be the shorthand version of it. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Where was that I saw here? Doot, doot, doot. There we go. Just checking out your page here, Stephen, with the pictures with Ross Chastain's cars. Oh, those are impressive there. Look at the. Oh yeah. Gosh, I forgot they even ran the watermelon paint scheme on the 55 car there a couple of years. Yeah, definitely check out Stephen's Twitter account there, at Stephen Callahan in the page there. And yeah, you got some good pictures there. I'll put that in the chat. All righty. Let's see. Okay, we'll get the next question here. Another pits question here. What team saw its brilliantly crafted parts advertised in the Sears catalog? Wow. Boy, we have stepped up several grades in difficulty from what manufacturer did Bill Elliott run in 1985. What NASCAR team saw its brilliantly crafted parts advertised in the Sears catalog? It doesn't even give a year. It just says that their parts were advertised in the Sears catalog. What NASCAR team? Okay, Holman Moody, Wood Brothers. Good guesses. Any other guesses on here? Taking our drink here. Robert Yates, Petty Esports. I like that. They're brilliantly crafted parts advertised in the Sears catalog. Sears catalog, now there's a throwback by itself. It's like, man, nowadays with online shopping being what it is, probably a lot of people don't even know what a Sears catalog is or what Sears is or was. Alrighty. Okay. And let's see what the answer is. The answer is Holman Moody. Wow, first guess, Goldsmith. You got it again, man. Holman Moody. All right. Holman Moody. Excellent. Next question. What car did Felix Sabates say turned mediocre drivers into superstars? Wow, wow. Somebody on blast here. What car did Felix Sabates say turned, quote, mediocre drivers into superstars? What car specifically, according to Felix Sabates, said turned mediocre drivers into superstars? That's a that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. Felix Sabates, what car did Felix Sabates say turned mediocre drivers into superstars? The Thunderbird, Earnhardt's number 3, Junior Johnson's number 11. Okay, these are all good, good guesses. And again, there's a lot of different ways you can read this. Is it like, what team, or is it what manufacturer? I mean, it's saying what car, so I assume it's what manufacturer, and what model, I guess. And of course, we're talking Sabatas, then we're talking the era that he was competing, although unless he was talking about something in the past, so there's that possibility. All righty. What car did Felix Sabates say turned, quote, mediocre drivers into superstars? The answer is the Taurus. The Taurus. Wow, okay, it was 1998 headline, I would assume. So yeah, the Taurus. Felix Sabates, not a fan of the Ford Taurus when it came in. Said that it turned mediocre drivers into superstars. Jeremy Mayfield did lead the points there at one point. Not saying he was mediocre by any means. Dude nudged Dale Earnhardt out of the way to win at Pocono, but perhaps he was lightly regarded at the time, and I don't know whether that was what brought about this concern from Sabates. I know at the Spring Texas race, after all the wrecks they had, you had guys like Chad Little and I think Robert Presley even having good finishes there. So that was interesting. So yeah, the Taurus is the answer. All right. Okay. What car won often in the 50s despite being powered by an outdated flathead 6? There we go. Now we're turning the clock way back. What car won often in the 1950s despite being powered by an outdated flathead 6? Won often in the 50s despite being powered by an outdated flathead 6. The Hudson Hornet, Mercury. Any other guesses on that? What car won often in the 1950s, despite being powered by an outdated flathead 6, is the question. No clue, yeah. Hudson Hornet seems like a good guess. And the answer is indeed the Hudson Hornet. There you go. You guys got it. A lot of people got it. Okay, right on. Okay, here we go. What brand... okay, here we go. All right. What brand of tire ended Goodyear's 464 race win streak in 1988? What brand of tire ended Goodyear's 464 race win streak in 1988? What brand of tire ended Goodyear's 464 race win streak in 1988? And indeed, it was Hoosier. You guys got it. Okay. We do have some easy ones on here. Okay, here we go. What major southern city is crew chief Larry McReynolds' hometown? Larry Mack. What major southern city is crew chief Larry McReynolds' hometown? Alrighty. What major southern city is crew chief Larry McReynolds' hometown? One guess for Birmingham. Any other guesses here? The moon. There we go. Birmingham. All right, yeah, you guys got it. Birmingham is indeed the correct answer. All righty. What famed owner's sons have served as crew chiefs for Michael Waltrip? What famed owner's sons have served as crew chiefs for Michael Waltrip? Now, again, this is what, 1998? So as of 1998. So don't think about Michael Waltrip's later crew chiefs. Think about the ones from 1998 and earlier. What famed owner's sons have served as crew chiefs for Michael Waltrip? So the owner whose sons were crew chiefs for Michael Waltrip. So you don't have to name necessarily crew chiefs themselves, but the owner who was the father of both of them. And that father was a team owner. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the team owner that he drove for. It could be something, it could be complicated that way too. I'm overcomplicating this, but then again, when you only have so many characters on the screen, I guess you can reinterpret it any number of different ways. And the answer is Glenn Woods. Indeed, you guys got it. You guys got it. Bring up the Wood brothers. There we go. So Glenn Wood, the team owner, and his sons there as crew chiefs. Okay. Alrighty. Who wrenched for Mark Martin before he became crew chief for Ted Musgrave? So who wrenched? Wrenched is in quotes. I assume it just means who is a crew chief. Who is a crew chief for Mark Martin? Or who wrenched? I guess. Well, you say chief mechanic or something else. Okay, but who wrenched for Mark Martin before he became crew chief for Ted Musgrave? Who was working on Mark Martin's team before he became Ted Musgrave's crew chief? Any guesses on that? Steve Meal, Andy Petrie. Any other guesses on that? Let's see. Who wrenched for Mark Martin before he became crew chief for Ted Musgrave? And the answer is James Ince. James Ince. There we go. Steve Meal's a good close one. Obviously, what was it? He was on Scene Vault podcast recently. But yeah, James Ince is the correct answer. I-N-C-E. James Ince. Frankie Stoddard, another good guess. Alrighty. Let's see. Next question. How many Waddell Wilson built engines had won the Daytona 500 through 1998? How many Waddell Wilson built engines had won the Daytona 500 through 1998? If I said 1988, I misspoke. 1998 is the question. How many Waddell Wilson, I knew that was going to trip me up at some point. How many Waddell Wilson built engines? What number? How many had won the Daytona 500 through 1998? So for the first 40 runnings. Okay, 12, 17, 7, 14, 5. You got other guesses? It's over 9,000. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe the RPMs were at one point. All right. The answer is 7. Tad Hugo, you got it right off the bat. It is 7, according to the thing here. Oh, goodness. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Who was head of the engine department at Yates Racing in 1998? Who is head of the engine department at Yates Racing in 1998? The head of the engine department at Yates Racing in 1998. Kenny Irwin Jr.'s rookie season, or his first full season exactly, in the Cup Series. The head of the engine department at Robert Yates Racing in 1998. Robert Yates, Doug Yates. Survey says Doug Yates. There we go. Doug Yates. It does seem like it's like a who's buried at Grant's tomb kind of question, but yeah, it had already been to Doug Yates at that point in 1998, according to the thing here. Alrighty. Okay, we got this. Alrighty, next question. Who is the first rookie crew chief to win the Daytona 500? Ooh, there's a good question. That's a really good question. Who is the first rookie crew chief to win the Daytona 500? The first rookie crew chief to win the Daytona 500. Again, as of sometime in 1998. Who was the first rookie crew chief to win the Daytona 500? The first rookie crew chief. Don't look it up. Go ahead and just you can go ahead and guess. There's no such thing as a bad guess on this. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not 100% on that either. But as of 1998, who was the first rookie crew chief excuse me, to win the Daytona 500? Jeff Hammond, Dale Inman, Steve Letarte, Jimmy Makar. There we go. Gonna hit the button. Gonna hit the button. Get those guesses in. Makar, Letarte. We're find out the answer is Larry McReynolds. Oh, I guess, well, now see, I'm not sure about that one. First rookie crew chief was Larry McReynolds. Like, he won, because he was with Ricky Rudd in 1988, but Rudd didn't win the Daytona 500 in 1988. It was Bobby Allison. I know he won with Davey Allison, he won with Dale Earnhardt, but those were years later. Yeah, I don't think that's right either. I mean, they must have been thinking, okay, he just switched over to Dale Earnhardt's team. I think he switched over to Earnhardt's team in '98, but even then, he wouldn't be a rookie crew chief. It wasn't. Yeah, no, that's not right. I don't know what that is. Okay, yeah, that's what it says here. So we gotta, yeah, let's get where's the customer service number on the back of this thing? It doesn't have one. At least I don't see one. It's like, excuse me, I do believe your Trivial Pursuit device from 22 years ago is incorrect. Yeah. That's a weird one. Rookie crew chief. I guess it was a rookie crew chief with the team, but not a rookie in general, like not a first time ever starter. That's the way I read it too. I was thinking, yeah, first time like ever. Okay, interesting. All right, here we'll get to the next one here. What must clearance between okay, was that worded right? What must clearance between the engine and ground be for Winston Cup cars? Okay, it's a ride height question. What must clearance between the engine and ground be for Winston Cup cars? So the little clearance there under the car there. What's the clearance as of 1998 between the bottom of the engine, I would presume, and the surface of the ground? What is the clearance? What is the distance there? 5 inches? 4 inches? Does it say side roads? I'm not sure. It just says between the engine and the ground. I assume it's the bottom, like the oil pan or something. But if it's not that, then I'm not sure. What was the clearance between the engine and the ground be for Winston Cup cars? 8 inches, 4 inches, 4.5 inches, a snake length. There we go. Let's see. Cars were still high back then. Yeah, that's the tricky part. We're not talking about now. We're talking about then. The clearance between the engine and ground. All right, answer coming up. And the answer is 10 inches. 10 inches. Right on. 10 inches. I don't think anybody went that high on that. 4, 6, 8, 555 rule. 9 inches. Yeah, 10 inches. Can you imagine? I mean, no wonder the ride height was what it was. If you have 10 inches of clearance between the engine and the surface, you're wow. That's up. Yeah, Mike, you're close, man. So there were some close ones here. 10 inches. Yeah, Michael, there you go. Yeah, you guessed 9 inches. Yeah, you had like the closest guess. But yeah, 10 inches. 10 inches would be something else. And get these cars off the ground and kind of, watch some of that old footage. Like I remember doing the Jerry Nadeau video and looking at the footage from the 2000 Coca-Cola 600, and you just see those cars just hop over the humps on the backstretch there, and just like sparks coming off. It's so much fun to watch. It just looks like they're out of control, even driving in a straight line. The Winston is even more of that, the All-Star race that year. They are just flying around there. I might watch that after this is over, actually. That was a lot of fun. That was a good one. All right. Next question. Get some more Pitts questions here. What engine part does Holley specialize in? The company Holley, Holley. What engine part does Holly specialize in? Yeah, 2000 Winston is great. The Open is good too. It's just a fun one in general. What engine part does Holly specialize in? Carburetor? Okay, you guys got it. Carburetors, you got it. You guys got it. All right. Yeah, camshafts, not quite. You're close. All right, let's see. What was the other? Okay. We'll shake things up here. Let's go to the wild card category because that got a lot of votes too. We'll jump over there. I think we did that last time we did this. Okay, here we go. What month did Big Bill choose for the first Daytona Beach and road course race? What month did Big Bill France choose for the first Daytona Beach and road course race? Not the Daytona 500, the first Daytona Beach and road course race. What month did he select for that? 1 in 12 chance on that one. July, January, for the first Daytona Beach and road course race. Now, I presume the first one under NASCAR's sanctioning body, but I mean they'd run races on the Daytona Beach road course for a long time, but this is one that Big Bill himself proposed. He did that chose for the first Daytona Beach and road course race. January, March, July, May. Okay, we're all over the place. The answer is July. Indeed, July. So the Firecracker 400 has roots pretty far back, even to the Daytona Beach road course. But running on Daytona Beach in July, that sounds awesome already. But I mean, now go figure. All this stuff happens when they've already moved the Firecracker 400 into the middle of hurricane season in August, and now this happens. We don't know when anything's going to be scheduled. So crazy set of circumstances. Crazy. All right, next question. What was the dominant car on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit in 1961? What was the dominant car of the Winston Cup circuit in 1961? Dominant car. The dominant car on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit in 1961. We got a guess for Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Ford, Mercury. 1961. What was the dominant car? What was the car that you had to be driving back then to have any chance of winning races or contending for the championship? In 1961. Plymouth? Rex White kind of hitting on the head there with the Chevrolet. Alrighty, the answer is the Pontiac Grand Prix. The Pontiac Grand Prix. So there we go. We did have some guesses. Jason, you got it. And Maserati 9, you got it. Goldsmith, you were first on the button there. Right on. Okay. Here we go. And we try something here. Okay. Hang on a second. I got to mute the mic for just a moment here. Okay, there we go. We're back. You guys didn't need to hear me blow my nose, so we'll move on from there. Okay, next question. Let's see. 7:43 o'clock. There we go. Yeah, we'll probably go up to the top of the hour and we'll call it good at that point here. Unless you guys want to, we'll see how things go from that point. So we'll get a few more questions in here and see how things go here. Thanks again for everybody tuning in. And we'll get to another wild card question. What current NASCAR Winston Cup driver, current as of 1998, pondered trying out for the PGA Tour? What current NASCAR Winston Cup driver pondered trying out for the PGA Tour? What current NASCAR Winston Cup driver pondered trying out for the PGA Tour? There we go. Hand sanitizer. You're right. Let me tell you. Got it right here. Running out of it though. So we'll get enough out for this. Man, shake some right out of there. Marvel as I blow my nose and gasp in awe as I try to wheedle out as much hand sanitizer from this bottle as possible. There it goes. Now we're good. All right, here we go. Here we go. No, I appreciate the safety stop, Goldsmith. Right on, man. You are absolutely right. I'll get that on there. Okay. Here we go. Okay, good. It didn't reset. What current NASCAR Winston Cup driver pondered trying out for the PGA Tour? Okay, we got it. We got it. All right. And the answer is indeed Dale Jarrett. You guys got it. Come on. You guys weren't fooled there. All right. Dale Jarrett indeed. All right. Who was the first female to earn an expert rating as a dirt track motorcycler? Oh, how about that? Well, that's really a wild card question. Who is the first female to earn an expert rating as a dirt track motorcycler? How about that? The first female to earn an expert rating at a dirt track as a dirt track motorcycler. There we go. Now I presume, yeah, somebody that has some tie to NASCAR, so something like that. The first female to earn an expert rating as a dirt track motorcycler. There we go. Sarah Christian, Ethel Flock. Yeah, I have no idea. Your mom? No, no, not mine. She wouldn't let me get on a motorcycle. I imagine she wouldn't either. Who was the first female to earn an expert rating as a dirt track motorcycler? Guthrie? Yeah, it's okay. Hey, Beast Metal, welcome back here. All right. And the answer is Tammy Jo Kirk. Tammy Jo Kirk. Now there's a throwback. Was it the Truck series or the Bush series? I'm trying to think. That name is really familiar. It's not drawing up not drawing the memory immediately. All right. Okay. Next one here. Truck series. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. What Daytona 500 winner was born in San Diego? What Daytona 500 winner was born in San Diego? I think I know the answer to this one. I'm not 100%, but I think I know it because I think I heard this somewhere. What Daytona 500 winner was born in San Diego? Born in San Diego. Irvin, Marvin Panch. There we go. Good. Got some good Californians already on the list. What Daytona 500 winner was born in San Diego? Derek Cope. There we go. Alrighty. And the answer is Derek Cope. Derek Cope. Hey, how about that? How about that? You know, we always hear Spanaway, Washington, but born in San Diego. So hey, West Coast all around. Alrighty. Derek Cope. So how about that? Alrighty. How about this? What year in the 80s did David Pearson retire? Oh, this is actually going to be covered in the video I'm doing on Friday. So, okay. What year in the 80s did David Pearson retire? So those of you who've seen it, they already know the answer to this one. Or if you've seen the video that it's from, of course. What year in the 80s did David Pearson retire? 1986, 1986, 1988, 1983, 86, 84. Okay. Yeah, born in Derrick. Yeah, was born. Derrick Cope was born in Derrick, California. Like, wait, huh? Like, live TV, folks, or live streaming. It's the fun part. All right. What year did David Pearson retire? What year in the 80s? All righty. And the answer is 1986. Now, I take issue with that because that's not necessarily the case. Not necessarily the case. That may be accurate because it's like last year that he made a cup start or whatever, but this is different though. There was something later on. I think NASCAR Man did an article on this already, and I touched on it in the video, but you'll see this Friday. There are a couple days. We'll get that on YouTube, and stay tuned for that. So yeah, that's definitely something that's going to be brought up there. I think I see the question there about the 2000 Victory Tour. I think it'd be interesting to do. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how in depth it would be, like with some of the sources. I think it would be interesting to do. If you're trying to say like if you're interested in doing it yourself, like that's fine. I'm not going to stop anybody from doing that. Because I may be thinking of doing something different, at least for my next video here. But I'm definitely up for it. I mean, it sounds interesting because I think there's some stories from that 2000 season. It kind of even came up during 3 before February, kind of looking at how much the events of that year really kind of overshadowed that last season that he had. So I'm open to it. I'm certainly open to it, but I'm not going to stake a claim on that entirely. I do think it's a good idea though. Hope you'd like to. Oh yeah, no, I'd like to. I mean, I have all the races set aside from 3 before February. I don't think it'd be too incredibly difficult to do it. We'll see how the video this Friday goes, and maybe we'll do some more retirement videos here. I mean, I'm certainly open to anything on that, just anything to kind of produce for the channel. I particularly like the idea of actually talking to Daryl about it. I think that would be the thing that would kind of help get some more information on that rather than just doing a surface analysis from the videos. We'll see how things go. I'm certainly open to it though. Yeah, several last place starts. Yeah, no, that's the thing too. A lot of DNQs and everything. So difficult season. I don't know how forthcoming he'd want to be talking about it. I'm certainly open to it though. I mean, I think it'll be interesting. But the more I was working on this project for this week, I mean, I know it's only 20 minutes long to talk about all these retirement seasons, so none of them I go into like a great depth about. And I almost thought of as it was going, kind of convert it into talking about the original way I was going to do it was actually doing a video on just the ones from 2005 because there was this time period really briefly that you had a bunch of these drivers retiring or having retirement plans at the same time. You had Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, Terry Labonte was scaling back at that time. Bill Elliott already had. And then you had, what else? Did I say Ricky Rudd? I know Ricky Rudd was scaling back too, but he didn't do like a full-on thing. But I was almost just going to just do it on that because there was already so much information from that alone. So it ended up being a more difficult project than I anticipated. But maybe it would be good to do like some other projects there afterwards. Yeah, Jarrett, Marlin. Yeah, a lot of that. You had a different deal there, but what I ended up doing on this one is it's more of just an overall look at these other retirement seasons, and maybe kind of do like I don't know, maybe it almost seems like it'd be like a series or something, but I'm not sure how much I would go into it that way. But the 2001 would be interesting because there's some other sources you can work with to kind of flesh that out and make it better. We'll see. I got some ideas on hand here, and I got some stuff I'm working with, but it's definitely one I'm keeping in mind though. So I do appreciate the idea and the thought on that. Let's see. Yeah, well, Jarrett, he was struggling in 2003, like 2005, but he didn't actually retire until 2008. Like that one's. See, and that's the thing too. And that was what was difficult. It's like my memory of it was different because I remembered it being like that Wallace and Martin were retiring, And Martin was originally going to retire at the end of the year, but then he decided to keep going afterwards. But then I looked at some of the information on that. It turned out that even from the beginning, when he was announcing it in late 2004, he was deciding that he was going to continue to run for a couple more seasons and kind of leaving it open. And now, of course, you have these retirements where they're not even retirements. They're just saying, well, I'm going to not run full time, so they maybe run a couple races. It actually became more of a challenging project that way. I mean, I think it still came out pretty well, but we'll see how it goes on that. And maybe doing some videos further to kind of attach to it and kind of expand on it. Maybe that would be something to do on that. But yeah, that was the thing. Yeah. And Andrew, yeah, you raise a good point too. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's not up to the drivers. I mean, just ask, yeah, Matt Kenseth or Trevor Bayne or, some of these other guys where, you just get cycled out. And that's, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be an interesting angle. All right. We'll get a couple more questions in here. I know we're coming up on the top of the hour here. What hometown boy is the favorite of Jackson, Mississippi race fans? What hometown boy is the favorite of race fans in Jackson, Mississippi? What hometown boy, what driver is the favorite of Jackson, Mississippi race fans? Toot, toot, toot. There we go. All right. What hometown boy is the favorite of Jackson, Mississippi race fans? And yep, you guys got it. You guys got it. It's Lake Speed. Of course it is. Lake Speed. All righty. And let's see here. Who was the shortest of the top 10 NASCAR Winston Cup drivers of 1997? Wow, now there we go. There's a question. Talk about like personal details here and everything. Who is the shortest of the top 10 NASCAR Winston Cup drivers of 1997? 97. Oh, excuse me. The shortest of the top 10 NASCAR Winston Cup drivers of 1997. Who is the shortest of the top 10 NASCAR Winston Cup drivers of 1997? We got some good ones here. We got Buckshot Jones, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Buckshot. Alrighty. Who is the shortest of the top 10 NASCAR Winston Cup drivers of 1997? And the answer is Mark Martin. Okay, yeah, you guys got it. You guys got it. Alrighty. There we go. Okay, we'll get a couple more in here. Let's do another wild card here. What cautious driver was nicknamed the Turtle for bringing up the rear in races? Excuse me, I misspoke. Let me say that again. What cautious driver was nicknamed the Turtle for bringing up the rear in races? Now, if you've seen the book, if you've read my book, the answer to this question is actually in there. I know that for sure. What cautious driver was nicknamed the Turtle for bringing up the rear in races? Oh, and you guys got it already. Maserati 9. Herman Beam. You guys got it. Herman Beam is exactly the answer. All right. Beast of Metal, thank you for the $5 super chat there. I mourn for Matt Kenseth as his legacy is slowly reduced to living proof that the junior singularity has outlived his career. I do share that frustration. It's sad. I mean, I think that, we talked about a little bit earlier here about drivers retiring when it's kind of out of their hands. I think Eric Jones is a really good talent. I just hate that it had to happen at the cost of Matt Kenseth's ride, because Matt Kenseth, I believe, still has some good years ahead of him. Quite honestly, I think he's one of the best veterans out there, and he never seems to get really any respect. And much like Ricky Rudd in 2005, when he was originally planning on retiring, Kenseth's thing was certainly overshadowed by Dale Jr., which was unfortunate because the two of them were such close friends. It'd be like if Ryan Blaney and Bubba Wallace retired at the same time sometime in the future. You know, although I think in that case both of them would get a lot of attention, but you know, I don't know who would be more or the other at that side. But you know, Matt Kenseth, yeah, I think he's a driver that I would be nice if you know, he had a bit more, you know, respect there. I was talking with a friend the other day, and I was saying that, you know, really, I think that you know, Kenseth is one of those drivers that when you do like a fantasy pick for like a competition, he's usually pretty much a blue chip guy. He's going to stay like in the top 5 or top 10, you know, more often than not. Pretty versatile from one track to the next. I put Carl Edwards in the same category too. Obviously, circumstances of his retirement being very different, but that kind of thing too. Oh gosh, and Jeff Burton, yeah, Andrew, yeah. You know, I don't think he even mentioned Jeff Burton in the video. I did because that was a whole other thing, you know, and again, just different circumstances there. That's the really difficult part. And like, what's the line between like a full on decision to have a retirement season or just coming to Homestead and then knowing that you know you're stepping aside, like a David Reagan, Paul Nard kind of thing. Um, yeah, yeah, that was unfortunate for Burton too. But then, of course, you know, I mean, I'm luckily he landed on his feet there in the broadcast booth, much like a lot of these other guys, like Gordon and Jr. and so forth there. But yeah, an unfortunate deal there. An unfortunate deal. I mean, Jeff Burton, yeah, he's always been so outspoken. I think he's been like that. Fun fact: Kevin Harvick is last driver racing to have won a race on TNN Motorsports. That's a good. That's a good point. I think you may be right on that. I was when I first saw that, I was thinking maybe like he wasn't the only driver to have left to have started a race on TNN because then you can count Ryan Newman. When he made his first start at Phoenix in 2000, he was on. He won. He was on. That was a race that was on TNN. That was the last one that TNN did. But yeah, but in terms of winning a race on TNN, yeah, I think you're right. So you know, good on you. There we go. All right. Let's get one more question in here. We'll probably wrap this up here in a bit. The answer here. Oh, here we go. Actually, this is a fun question. This is a fun one to wrap it up on. Who accidentally triggered his car's fire extinguisher in his last NASCAR race? Who accidentally triggered his car's fire extinguisher in his last NASCAR race? Now, this is interesting. This is interesting. Now, I know you're thinking last race and fire extinguisher. You may be thinking of one thing, but we're talking about triggering the car's fire extinguisher in his last race. So it's not quite the same thing. So we'll see. We'll see. It could be. It could be. Now, this thing has had poor wording before. It's entirely possible. It could be. It could be the answer there, but it's very possible it couldn't because it's saying specifically it was accidentally triggered. So there wasn't a need to use it. So, okay. Who accidentally triggered his car's fire extinguisher in his last NASCAR race? We'll let everybody get their answers in here. Take care there, RC45. Thanks for stopping by. And we'll get the answer to this question here. Yeah, Robbie Gordon's in-car camera on fire. It does sound a lot like that. All right, here, let's get the answer. The answer is Ned Jarrett. Well, boy, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Ned Jarrett accidentally triggered. There it is. Ned Jarrett triggered his fire extinguisher in his last start. Had no idea. That's insane. That's insane. No idea on that. That was interesting. Well, hey, how about that? So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in for the trivia night tonight. Hopefully we'll do some more of these in the future, and we get some more news coming up. We're going to still do the news live streams on the second channel, the Brock Car Racing live stream. But the trivia nights will be on this channel. Stay tuned here on Friday at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern for the premiere of the History of Retirement Seasons. That is all set up. As always, big thanks to everybody that tuned in, as well as our members in Lastreon. And in the meantime, you guys stay safe out there. Keep plenty of this hand sanitizer on hand, and be safe out there, okay? I'll see you guys next time.